Hey everyone! We are starting with our main session for Journal Weekend. And for many, it's going to be the morning for you. So good morning to you. Before we get started and we start co-working, I want to very quickly set an intention for what we're going to be doing today. And for those of you who were not participating last weekend, what I will recommend you to do, I'm going to show you what you can do instead. I mean, you can participate, but use the time to work through the first bits that you might have missed. Let me start by what the intention of the Journal Weekend is and what our final outcome is that we want to have. We are creating a product out of our methodology. And in order to be able to think of all layouts and all of the things that we want to add, exercise and so on, we need to have a copy deck created. A copy deck is basically a document that includes all the written word that is going to go inside our product. We need that first to later on work with a designer. Why do I recommend working with a designer? Because this is definitely something that I wouldn't save on unless you're really talented, you're a graphic designer, you really know how to make things visually very appealing, then I would say do it yourself. But if you want to have commercial success with a journal and you want the journal to really help you build authority, have a lot more impact by reaching a wider audience, the looks really matter, and people do judge the product by its cover, even though we say don't judge a book by its cover. Obviously, we all do. It's normal. There's nothing bad about it. It's just that we want to make it visually as appealing as possible. And also we want to have a designer that helps us make the interior as visually appealing as possible so that people want to use the product. So that's something I wouldn't recommend doing yourself on Canva. I would have someone who helps you with that, because I've seen them on the market. I've seen products that were self-made and then they manufacture thousands of pieces. And those products sometimes really struggle selling, not because of the content, but because it visually isn't as appealing. So we are not going to design ourselves. We are not going to be focusing on design at all during this weekend. We are only focusing on how do we make sure that we get our method onto paper and what are the things that we want the product to say or the person to do. And usually what happens when you start working with a designer, a good designer will give you feedback as well. They will not just take everything. It's like, okay, I think it's stupid, but I'm just going to go for it. If you have someone that's going to give you feedback, and you can actively ask for that. You can say like, okay, this is my written content. It might be that for a page or so, it's going to be too much content. So we will clean it up. But we only know that once the design is in process. But the designer can only start working if we have content. So it's a chicken and the egg thing, right? So we always start with the content first, with the written word first, so that we can then start work with a designer, and so that they can then help us shape it. Because as you receive your first sample, so the first sample, this is a collaboration that I've done with Evelyn. And yesterday night I just did a co-planning session. So I always have this planner next to me somewhere. That's why I keep showing it. But not because it's the only one we have. We've created so many. But I keep using this product a lot. So what do I want to say? Oh yeah. So I have a sample, and the sample is very different to the final product. And that is because, especially when it came to the content, we did make some changes, and usually that happens with the sample. So next week, I'm starting a 6-week sprint where I'm going from copy deck, initial copy deck, to having my very first sample created, basically a sample like this, with one of my trusted manufacturers. because then once I have the sample, I can make the final edits, and then I can get into production, or I can do a pre-sale, because I'm thinking of doing a pre-sale for my products and seeing, okay, let's see how many people are interested in it and how many people want to purchase it ahead of time. Not only does that fund the production, and the cool thing is that if you do it this way, getting a sample done costs you around $200. Then you have a beautiful product, you can photograph it, you can create content with it, and then you can pre-sell it. And that's something that I'm intending to do, and also what we've done with this product here. If you want to participate in the sprint, please let me know in the community, because for the very first time, what we're doing in Elite Sourcing Collective, this is our group purchasing group purchasing group. We purchase products as a group, basically. And for the very first time, I'm doing a 6-week sprint together, and I'm opening the doors to a different price. So usually our group purchasing and having us take care of your orders, that will cost $4,999. But what we've decided to do and have a founding rate for is the 6-week sprint. So we will do 6 weeks together, and it's going to be $999. We don't manage the order for you, but we are going to give you a contact of one of our trusted manufacturers where you can get good quality and good pricing. And they are vetted. These are people that we've been working with for years. And it's the people that have also worked on this particular product. So you'll have good quality. You can then be in touch with the manufacturer, and we're doing this 6-week sprint plus the contact to the manufacturer for $999, and you will have access 1 year to the community, right? So for those of you who are like, okay, great, we're creating the content, but actually what are the steps after? This could be a perfect way for you to continue and have all the bits, right? Like, how do you select the colors? How do you select the materials? What accessories do you want to do? What type of binding do you want to do? You want to do a spiral? There's going to be a lot of questions that you're going to be facing just after the weekend. I think that we cannot do all in one weekend, because then we wouldn't be able to really focus on the content, which is the most essential bit, because in the end of the day, that's what brings the transformation to the end user, and that needs to be good. So if you want to participate in the next 6 weeks and have all the help to go from like, okay, here's my content, but now let's put it into pages. Now let's decide how we're going to, be packaging it, and then go from finding a designer, going through it, proofreading, and all of the different steps that are in between. And we also do it together, because I have 2 products that I'm working on that I want to have my samples in 6 weeks, starting from next Wednesday. So we're starting Wednesday the 5th. Okay? So if any of you are interested in joining, I can show you, because this is pretty cool. So this week, school has introduced tiers, which made this even possible. Before we didn't have the possibility of offering the sprint the way that I wanted to offer it. And actually that school offered tiers. So tiers basically mean you can have one community at different pricing points, and they've started to offer this now, and that inspired also to be able to create this offer. Let me show you what it looks like. Where do I share my screen? Anytime I want to share my screen, I forget where the button is. Okay, here we go. That's Elite Sourcing Collective. That's what we do. So we help create products. These are just a portion of the products that we've created. We've been able to support people create tons and tons of different products, beautiful qualities, lots of different range. It doesn't matter if you want to create a card deck. It doesn't matter if you want to have even like games, journals, planners, notepads, and so on. The only thing that you wouldn't be able to create are sticky notes with this manufacturer. If you're looking for sticky notes, then you would want to join the regular membership. And if you, well, I can't see it because I'm the owner of the group, but if you join, you will see two different pricings, right? And the $999 a year, and it gives you 1 year of access, includes the 6 weeks. It includes the guidance, how we go from outline content to then design and so on. You will be connected with one manufacturer, and also you get binding material, selection support, what I would recommend, what makes it look more expensive, but is not more expensive in production. Like there's a lot of these different things that we want to keep in mind for high perceived value and also for a nice experience for the user. And then you get 1 year access. And this is the link if you want to join. This is starting on November the 5th, and we have this founding rate right now. And I'm happy to put this in the link. And then I would say, let's get started today, right? Just wanted to make sure that I share this. Oh, I see here. Will there be a pricing plan for the 999? There is no plan right now. There is only this one option here, the 999 option, because it's a 6 weeks, and on school people could just simply cancel. So it's too much admin. That's why we only have the 999, since it's a short program. Okay, so then let's get going. And if we have any questions, feel free to ask them. What we want to do now, we want to continue writing and we want to keep each other accountable. This morning I already started. We had an earlier session this morning for people that are in different time zones. And what I'm going to do, we start with half an hour first, and then we will check in. Any questions about the process, or if you feel stuck somewhere or whatever you need, let me know. And sorry, very quickly, I forgot to show you. For those of you that have not participated before, or it's the first live session that you're joining, let me very quickly show you where you can go as well. So you can find any other, like all the other instructions that you would need. So you go to our community to learn a weekend, and then you go to the classroom and you will find bonus resources. In bonus resources, you have shorter videos explaining the step-by-step. And you'll also, if you go to the classroom, actually, this is something I wanted to do. Let's see if I can copy this. You get this dashboard here. This dashboard, this is how it looks like when you fill it out. It helps you step by step by asking you questions. And you want to answer these questions so that you actually know first, why are you creating this product? Because that is going to inform all the next steps. We want to know if you're doing it for building authority. Is it going to be an offer on its own? Do you want to reach more people? And so on. So you're going to be answering these questions, because later on, as we use ChatGPT a little bit more, in the beginning, we never want to use ChatGPT because we want to have the ideas come out of our own head, not necessarily coming from ChatGPT's ideas, although they are great, but I think sometimes they can take us off track, and just using our own brain for the ideation, I think, is important. Once you have filled this out and you follow You can just simply follow the steps in the classroom here, and you can use the co-working session basically to do that, right? So we have just roughly 2 hours together now. Use the time to start outlining and to stay accountable. I think what makes this Journal in a Weekend experience so powerful is that we actually get to do the thing that we otherwise don't find time for. And just having a lot of people at the same time doing similar work and having the timer, the accountability, I think it just does something to our brain that makes us be very productive. And I love it. So let's do it. Let's get lots of different copies created, copy decks created, so that we can have beautiful products that we will be holding in our hands in just a few weeks. How cool is that? And then start our very first pre-order, or maybe towards the end of the year. Wouldn't that be nice? So should we post in the community that we're interested, or should we just buy Skool? You can simply go ahead and buy as well at Skool/ESC. ESC, yeah. You can do that, of course, if you want to join us for the sprint. If you have any questions, you can put it in the community as well, and I can answer any questions. Cool. Let's go then. Let's get started. I would say 30 minutes. I'll have the timer here. You'll be able to see it. So if you have YouTube open, you can see how much time it is. I'm going to mute myself because oftentimes I'm going to be talking to my phone, so I don't want to distract you. And let's have a focus session. Good luck, and see you in 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes are up. That went fast. How is it going? Are you getting into a flow? Here's a question. My GPT wants to create markdown files for certain spreads. Do you recommend keeping those as well in a separate place or leave until draft complete? What does it mean with markdown file? That I would be curious about. Let's see. No, you don't need a markdown file at all. I mean, I don't use that. I just had to quickly Google it, honestly. So what we do, and I can show you how mine looks like. So let me show you what it is that I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So I am using my dashboard and I have product 1 and product 2. So product 2 is already completed, right? That's the content. And basically I just put the page here. Later on I have to clean this up. So I haven't cleaned this up on product 1. So product 2 is cleaned up, but here I haven't put any page numbers here. So what I have for product 2 so far is here's where the pages are going to go, and here's where the copy goes. The only thing that I add is for my designer to know some design instructions, right? So when it's dark blue, and I mark that in dark blue, when I have something specific that I would want her to do, I'll add that. Otherwise, it's just the copy. And this product is copy heavy, but I'm trying to have as many shorter pages as well, where there's not a lot of copy on the whole page, because I don't want it to feel overwhelming, while I want them not to feel lost either, right? So that's how I created. I don't have anything else. That's all that we use to create the product, and that's how we do it with any type of product, because this is easy for the designer as well. She sees every page, and here I'm going to later add the page numbers, so she's able to see, okay, this is the page. She copies it out, puts it in her program InDesign, and then she starts working on it. And if there's anything that I have in particular in mind, I put it in blue. And that's usually how we do it. Makes it a lot easier to work with a designer as well. And yeah, and I like to keep it all in one place. Makes it easy. Do we have any additional questions right now about the process? Do you need any help at this point? If there isn't any question, I would say, should we continue? Should we continue working and co-working together? We'll do a longer session, 45 minutes now, to be able to stay longer in flow. Time is here, and let's get going. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to post them. I'll be back and checking in 45 minutes, and I can answer any type of question that you might have, okay? Let's go. Let's get some journals done. Okay, the 45 minutes are over. How are you? How are you doing? I'm super in flow. Sometimes a bit frustrated going back and forth and like, oh, does this make sense now or not? So you'll notice a lot of your content creation is actually content cleanup, because you'll notice there were way too many words used. There was inconsistency, because sometimes you'll notice that you have a prompt that starts with, I like this. And then you have a prompt, what is it that you like, right? So instead of having the consistency of always being in the first person, suddenly you switch into speaking to the person, right? From first to second. So there are some of these inconsistencies that you might find. There will be times where you have way too much content, way too little. So the cleanup is something that we always want to do. And that can sometimes be a little bit frustrating, because you're like, oh, shoot, now I'm realizing I need another page here. Oh, no. I have to change the sequence. Things like that. Okay, do we have any questions? I think everyone is deep working, right? So what I would say, let's have the last 20 minutes be also a bit more co-working, so we make more progress. Today we are focusing a lot on making progress. And tomorrow we will also work a lot on making progress. Today, for those of you who are in the US time zones or also in Canada, why don't you try to connect with someone else in the same time zone? And you can also continue doing co-working. Today, I'm going to finish earlier than last weekend. I won't have evening sessions because my family is around, but I will be doing another main session tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow in the morning for those of you who also are in Europe or in Australia. Okay. What do we see? I'm kind of doing cleanup as I go. Tend to be editor plus writer at the same time. Yes, totally. Dude, yes, we do that. And then still you'll come back maybe in a few hours and you read through everything and then you'll edit again. Which is fine and important. But yeah, it's good that you're doing both at the same time. Okay. Should we do it? What do we have? We have exactly 20 minutes left. So I'll do 18 and then I'll meet you in 18 and then we have a couple of minutes to wrap up today's session. Let's do it. Okay. Well done. Good co-working, everyone, and creating our copy decks. How are you feeling? I'm noticing I need a little bit of movement, my back. How are you all? How much progress have you been able to make today? I can share I've been able to make so much progress. I'm so happy, and I can't wait to be able to start working on this product next week and have the design done, think about all of the different materials, how I want it to look, the finishes, and then get a sample done very soon. Because then I can prepare for a pre-sale that I want to do. Let's see, a big chunk done today, back and forth with GPT on a key section. Wonderful, very, very good. Well, I will then see you tomorrow again, where we are going to continue working on our copy decks and writing a little bit more and having some more co-working sessions. Thank you so much. Wait, there's a question. Would you be able to say more about how to do a pre-sale? So the way that you want to think of a pre-sale is, I can share how we've done it with this pre-sale. I think that will be the easiest way to explain it. So we created a sample and then announced it to our email lists. And also we had ads so that strangers could find this product. So it was a sample of a bundle, right? These two products came together. We did it through school. We just opened a new community, put the price of the community, and then made it very simple for people to purchase the product. We had close to 600 purchases of a bundle, and that meant that we had over $12,000 from the pre-sale that came in, and that informed how many orders we wanted to have, and we ordered a lot more than we initially anticipated that we would want to order. And that was very helpful. So I want to do something like that myself. So I'm creating two different products, right? One is my top of the funnel product, which is a more general business planner that focuses on return on investment and compounding your growth over time, which are some concepts that I've been talking about and carrying with me for years. And the second product in my case is going to be a planner that helps people productize the method. Going through my method of helping people create products out of the method. It's so meta, a planner that helps you create a planner. And that's basically for anyone who's already an existing client and wants to have something along the courses and along the digital things that we have and want them in written. And also it's going to be a way to attract more people. So it's going to be my front end offer so that I attract more people into the other things that we're doing, right? In our groups, Elite Sourcing Collective, which is our group purchasing. And also we have some programs, right? Courses that people could purchase. And this is how I will attract people into our world as well. So that's how I'm thinking about it. And it's going to be a pre-sale for me. Especially the Productize Your Method product is going to be a pre-sale, and I'm hoping to be able to pre-sell it. I can't say exactly when, but if I'm happy with the samples and I know what the changes are, and I'm confident with the timeline, probably in December, otherwise possibly in January. That's what I'm thinking so far, but we will see. And this is something that I'll also be talking about during the 6-week sprint, because one of the reasons I'm doing the sprint is to get the sample done to prepare for a pre-sale. And I know many people want to also do a pre-sale. One, to validate the idea and see enough people interested without investing into inventory, because the good thing is with that as well that you can just invest into a sample, which is like $200, and instead of investing thousands in creating inventory, right? So you can fund your inventory ahead of time, which I think is a really nice way to go. So that's why it's something that we'll be talking about as well during the 6-week sprint, as this is something that many people are preparing for. Cool. I will see you tomorrow. For those of you who want to join the sprint, who are not part of Elite Sourcing Collective, I'm going to put the link in here as well, so that you know. Let me see. It's this link, and it's basically school/ESC, and then you can join us. We start November the 5th, and this is a founding prize. We never offered a sprint in Elite Sourcing Collective like this for that type of prize, and I look forward to be working with you in creating your samples and your product and make it fast. Because if we don't do it now, it tends to just like take ages and ages and ages, and I find like a deadline helps us all. Okay, wonderful. See you very soon, and have a beautiful rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye.